need. I work blind, got vision I don't need to see. I'm picking mind over matter, I believe in me. I need to find more hours in the day to breathe. Need to find more power in the way I be.
All right. Welcome to my Mind on Your Matter. I had a little issue with my microphone for a second there. Sorry about that. This is weird. It's hot. I blame it on the heat. Blame everything on the heat. Blame it on the weather. Blame it on. I blame it on Elon. I told you I didn't trust that dude, right? You guys remember? A long time ago, I told you about Elon Musk and how I never trusted him. And I'll continue to not trust him because he's not a trustworthy person. Yes, he's very smart, but the individual is a very manipulative dude. He's very manipulative, and I don't trust him, and I would never will. I just something about him. He's very smart. He's very like he knows how to do business and run business, but he's not very trustworthy at all. If he has the opportunity to stab you in the neck, he would. And that's crazy. That's crazy talk. Um but I don't trust him. I just don't trust him, and they're saying, "Oh, without Elon Musk, Trump wouldn't have won the damn presidency." I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" With or without Elon, Trump was going to win. And why are you saying that now? Like, that's what media sucks. Media, Democrat Party. Now all the Democrats are behind Elon. They're like, yes, we want Elon on our side. Elon, we believe in you now. We're don't worry about what we did to your dealerships and to your stock and to your portfolio. Don't worry about that. But we're starting to love you again, Elon. Please come over here. Like, are you kidding me? I don't trust the dude. I don't trust him on any party. It doesn't make any sense at all. So let's go ahead and jump to it. We're gonna go to the news, and you know how we do it here. We're gonna pick out a story, and we're gonna go straight for it. Let's go straight for the Elon news. And let's see, I have everything all set up here properly, and let's go.
The rhetoric is ramping up between President Trump and Elon Musk as the two continue to trade very strong words. In fact, Elon Musk taking to his social media platform X to comment even further. He's made several already this afternoon after President Trump questioned their relationship. Take a look at this. This is the very latest social media post by Elon Musk stating, quote, "Without me, Trump would have lost the election. Dems would control the House and the Republicans would be 51."
This is, you see, Elon Musk, this is what he wrote. This is what he wrote on X. Without me, Trump would have lost the election. Are you kidding me? You in your stupid little mind, Elon, because I could talk like this because I never trusted you. Never trusted you for not 1 second. You think in this world, in the United States, that we would have voted for Kamala if you weren't like supporting Trump? Like we were all would have gone to Kamala? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you? That's why I can't stand this dude. I can't stand him. I never trusted him. My energy always told me he's around Trump and he's jumping around in Trump's rally, but that's a wolf in sheep's clothing. And I never trusted that dude from the very, very beginning. And I still don't trust him. And now you see why. And it's very telltale by these little comments that he's writing on X, because that's how he does. He doesn't speak on it. He has to go hide on X, type it out, and then defend what he writes on in the media. And I don't know why they give him the attention. Now he's trying to win over the Democrats for some reason, and now he's all about the Democratic Party. I mean, we have people jumping ships left and right. We have this that's I call him the mop head, Camille Pierre, jumping over to the independent side, and we're gonna talk more about that a little bit later. But let's continue on with this story with the weird Elon Musk. Just weird. He's just a very weird individual.
On 49 in the Senate. So far, President Trump hasn't responded to that. But earlier, Elon Musk also said false. This is in response to President Trump stating that Elon Musk knew what was in this budget reconciliation bill. This bill was never shown to me even once and was passed in the dead of night so fast that almost no one in Congress could even read it. So the relationship between Elon Musk and President Trump does appear to be deteriorating. And earlier, President Trump, while he was meeting in the Oval Office.
Look what Fox News writes. Breaking. Musk says Trump would have lost 2024 election without him. Are you kidding me? You see the self-gloat? This is him covering his ass so the Democrats could come up behind. I can read this story. This is energy reading 101. Okay, this is what he's trying to do. He is trying to win back the Democrats. Okay, and what he's trying to do by the numbers, win them back. So that way it boosts his portfolio, boosts his numbers. His stock will come back up. People will forgive him, especially the Democrats. And if you bash Trump, your numbers will go up, right? His numbers are going to go up. And he thinks that by doing what he's doing now is positive. And that who says that a bill that was written has to go through Elon before going to Congress? Like, who said that Trump has to send this to Elon to review, to send it before going to Congress? He's not an elected official. He is only there because Trump put him there to work on Doge, and that's it. He wasn't there to review policies. He wasn't there to review budgets. He's not there to dictate a budget before going to Congress. That is not his place. So I don't know where in the right mind that he get this information from. This dude is whack. He's very whack, and it's just not healthy. It's just not a healthy thing. So let's go back to the story and let's continue from there, because I'm telling you right now, it's just not a good thing. It's not good at all.
With the German chancellor questioning the likelihood that the relationship between the two men could continue. President Trump just earlier today, and we brought you his comments live, spoke about his souring relationship with Elon Musk, saying that he was very disappointed with Musk after the billionaire and former ardent supporter, really sounded off against President Trump's budget reconciliation bill of tax cuts and spending plans. President Trump suggesting Musk, who left the government last month after spearheading the Department of Government Efficiency, misses being in the White House and has, quote, Trump derangement syndrome. He said, quote, he hasn't said bad about me personally, but I am sure that will be next. But I'm very disappointed in Elon. I've helped Elon a lot. Now, a lot of people are wondering whether the previously close-knit relationship, the friendship between the two men, would continue. And it looks like perhaps it's fractured beyond repair. President Trump also stating that Elon and I had a great relationship. I don't know if we will anymore. He also said,
you see, this is hearsay, right? And not only that, but look at his face. Okay, look at that black eye right here. A little boy that's about 4 years old. How old is little X? Let me find out. Hey Google, how old is little X? Google doesn't want to work. Hey Google, how old is little X?
Little X, whose full name is X.
He's only 4.
He's 4 years old.
So he's
born on May 4th, 2020.
Okay, so he's 4 years old. He just turned 4. He just turned 4. Actually, no. He was born. Yeah, so he just. Well, he should be 5, not 4, because he was born May 4th, 2020. So I think Google's wrong here, saying that he's 4 years old. He's not. It should be 5 years old. He should be 5 years old right now. That's technology for you. If technology has it wrong, imagine how many people are believing what they read, especially on Google. Um, it's right here. It's saying that he's for, and it's telling me May 4, 2020 was his date of birth. It's impossible. We're in 2025 and we're in June. So either this is not updated or something's not right, but the kid is 5 years old. And no way in hell a 5-year-old, a little boy that can barely do anything, can punch his father so hard and give him a bruise that looks like this on his face. That face looks very swollen. Now the eye looks swollen here. The face here looks swollen. Something's not right about this guy. I've always pointed it out. My energy, the way I profile people, I'm very good at what I do, and I won't take back a lot of things that I said because everything I said is very freaking accurate. This dude is something about him I don't trust, and I still don't trust, and I won't trust because he's very sneaky. Let's continue.
That he had helped Elon Musk a lot and brushed aside the billionaire's efforts to get him elected last year. However, in that tweet that Elon Musk posted just moments ago, Elon Musk says that President Trump would have not become president without him. Elon Musk, of course, donating billions of dollars towards that campaign. And there was also a very closely contested Pennsylvania campaign that President Trump said that even without Musk's help, he would have won. That included spending at least $250 million in supporting his campaign. Now, President Trump's comments come as Elon Musk continues to post a storm of social media posts attacking President Trump's big, beautiful bill, warning that it will increase the federal deficit. And this is yet another example right here. It says, whatever, keep the EV solar incentive cuts in the bill, even though no oil and gas subsidies are touched. Very unfair. But ditch the mountain of disgusting pork in the bill. In the entire history of civilization, there has never been legislation that both big and beautiful. Now, Elon Musk had previously referred to the bill as filled with disgusting pork right there, calling it a, quote, disgusting abomination. And while President Trump was in the Oval Office with the German chancellor, he spoke about this, saying that Elon Musk knew about the bill. He was very happy about the bill. Elon Musk, as we showed you in that previous post, saying that wasn't true, that he was never shown the bill even once. Now, President Trump did say that Musk only developed a problem, those are his words, with the bill because it rolls back tax credits for electric vehicles. But that is the response right there on your screen that Elon Musk posted, saying, whatever, keep the EV solar incentive cuts in the bill.
That's crazy.
Now, this bill would create trillions of dollars in tax cuts. It would also slash spending. But it would also increase deficits by $2.4 trillion over a decade and leave a little over 10 million more people without health insurance. Now, that's according to an analysis by the Congressional Budget Office, which for decades has, served in this capacity for Congress right there. But the rhetoric continuing to heat up on this Thursday as both President Trump and Elon Musk speaking out publicly against each other, against their agendas, against their opinions. And one can only imagine that it will continue to ramp up in the coming days. As we did before, we brought you some of those posts and comments, and we will continue to do so. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens next.
I do not trust Elon. I do not trust him. I don't care for him. Like, if you watch my show, if you've seen a lot of stuff that I talk about, especially about Elon, you would know how I feel about him. He's a very opportunistic individual. He's yes, he is smart. No, he's not a genius. They portray him as one, but he hides behind the real geniuses, the real individuals. That he's just a really good poster child. That's what Elon is, and I will stick to that. Let's go to lighting up the joint, because when you have a problem, here, this is the solution. Medicine works, medicine helps, and I'm gonna light up because why not? That's a real reason why I started the show early today, because I really wanted to smoke. And I don't think I'm doing a show this evening because I'm going to be out and about tonight. So no show tonight. That's why I'm doing it now. So if people want to watch what I say, they could watch this show. And for those who are rewatching, thank you very much. Truly appreciate it. And the one who's watching, Albie, what's up, Albie? Hope you're having a good day. So let's continue. Let's see what we got going on here to see. Let me see. Okay, so we're going to go to the next one, which is Trump talking about, he started taking some questions from the Oval Office. So they asked him about if what Elon knew, but Trump was asked. And Trump said he knew about the bill, very disappointed in Elon. And the thing is that Elon is in it for himself. He's always been about him. He's like, look at the people that he's around with. Look at the people he dated. Just go by what he's dated, and then it gives you all the answers of the type of person he is. And he's a manipulator. That's what he is. So let's go to the next story here and let's start it up.
Thank you, Mr. President. The criticism that I've seen, and I'm sure you've seen, regarding Elon Musk and your big, beautiful bill, what's your reaction to that? Do you think it in any way hurts passage in the Senate, which, of course, what is you're seeking?
Well, look, I've always liked Elon, and it's always very surprised. You saw the words he had for me, and he hasn't said anything about me that's bad. I'd rather have him criticize me than the bill, because the bill is incredible. It's the biggest cut in the history of our country. We've never cut. It's about 1.6 trillion in cuts. It's the biggest tax cut. You would say, people's taxes will go way down, but it's the biggest tax cut in history. It's we are doing things in that bill that are unbelievable. And when you look at what we're doing for small businesses, for people, for middle-income people, all of the things that we're doing, nobody's ever seen anything like it. And, Elon's upset because we took the EV mandate, and, which was a lot of money for electric vehicles. And, they're having a hard time, the electric vehicles. And they want us to pay billions of dollars in subsidy. And,
that's what it is.
Elon knew this from the beginning. He knew it for a long time ago. That's been in there. I would say, JD, that hasn't changed. That's been right from the beginning. Mr. Secretary, that hasn't changed at all, right from the beginning. But I know that disturbed him. He wanted, and rightfully, he recommended somebody from that he, I guess, knew very well. I'm sure he respected him, but to run NASA. And I didn't think it was appropriate. And he happened to be a Democrat, like totally Democrat. And I say, look, we won. We get certain privileges. And one of the privileges, we don't have to appoint a Democrat. NASA is very important. We have great people. General Kane is going to be picking somebody with our, we'll be checking him out, seeing, but he wanted that person, a certain person, and we said no. And, I can understand why he's upset. Remember, he was here for a long time. You saw a man who was very happy when he stood behind the Oval desk. And even with the black eye, I said, do you want a little makeup? We'll get you a little makeup. But he said, no, I don't think so, which is interesting and very nice. He wants to be who he is. So you could make that statement too, I guess. Look, Elon and I had a great relationship. I don't know if we will anymore. I was surprised because you were here. Everybody in this room practically was here as we had a wonderful send-off. He said wonderful things about me. You couldn't have nicer. Said the best things. He's worn the hat. Trump was right about everything. And I am right about the great, big, beautiful bill. We call it a great, big, beautiful bill because that's what it is. And again, biggest tax cuts in history, biggest economic development moves anywhere. We've never done anything like it. Business is spurred. And I don't know if you've seen the numbers, but the numbers came out. Even the CBO, which is run by Democrats, said that we're going to be doing, I'd like you to discuss it, the 2.8 trillion, that CBO. This is a group of people that are Democrats. They're very hostile to us. They just came out with phenomenal numbers, what it does. You want to mention that, Scott?
Yes, sir. So what we've seen is we keep hearing from the CBO that there's going to be a large deficit from the bill, which we disagree with, but using the CBO scoring, they came out and scored the tariff revenue. We think it'll be the minimum of $2.8 trillion over the 10-year window, which actually puts the bill in surplus if you include the tariff revenue, which they won't do.
It gives you a tremendous surplus, but we're not allowed to use that. For some reason, they say scoring. Nobody knows what scoring means. Maybe a couple of people, but nobody. Somebody sits in the background. They say, well, we're not going to allow that. They're not allowing other things that we have that are tremendously profitable for our country. But if you saw the other day, CNBC, they came out with numbers, and the people on the show, very good people, I've watched them for a long time, they couldn't believe the numbers, how good they are. The numbers were incredible, and that was personal income and also very low inflation. We have very low inflation. We're down to 2% now, and maybe even lower than that. And when I took it over, it was a mess. Remember, we had the worst inflation probably in the history of our country. They say 48 years, but let's say I think it's worse than that. So we had the worst inflation in the history of our country under the Biden administration. Now we're down to a beautiful number, 2%. You'd actually like to keep it there. Better than zero is 2%. It's going down maybe to 1, and 1% is like perfect. That's perfect. You don't want to have zero for certain reasons that nobody is very interested to listen to. But we have almost perfect inflation. Grocery prices are down. Everything. Remember eggs? We weren't going to buy another egg for the next 20 years. They were so expensive, right? Remember? You guys all hit me about eggs. Eggs have come down 400%. Everybody has eggs now. They're having eggs for breakfast again. But if you look at gas.
Okay, I'm gonna pause it right here for a second and talk about the egg crisis that Biden created. I went to Walmart very recently. As of what's today? Thursday. I was there yesterday. And the day before yesterday, because I had to get a couple of things, and I had to get some money orders, and I bought some eggs, okay, and you could imagine what the prices are now compared to then, and I have picture evidence. I come with receipts. And I think that's going to be a show in the future. In the future, I'm going to do a show that's called I Come with Receipts. I think that'd be a great title for a show. Well, I purchased eggs, and an 18-pack of eggs in Walmart is only $4.37. $4.37. You heard that right. Big drop in egg prices, by more than 60%. Yeah, because not too long ago, the same eggs, 18 pack. I have to find it because I have it. I have picture evidence of the prices. It's just gonna be way back. It's gonna drive my eyes crazy because there's a lot of pictures. I have 11,200 pictures. 11,000. My phone is just loaded with pictures. But I can find those pictures if I just take the moment. Oh, here's some right here. The same pack um, of 18 eggs was $8.94. $18. It was $8.94 for 18 eggs. And then once upon a time, it got as high, listen to this, for 36 eggs. For 36 eggs, which is just double the pack, $17.88. I have it right here on my phone. I mean, I can't show it. Like, well, maybe I can. Let me see. I don't think because the brightness of the phone, it may not be able to see it, but you can see the eggs there. Let's see if I can zoom in and maybe it'll show. Nah, because the whiteness of the phone, you can't really see. I'm gonna have to fix that in the future. Look at me. See if I could. But $17.88 for a pack of 36, and then for 6 eggs at that time was $3.42. I have it right here. I have the pictures. Like $4 is $3.42 just for 6 eggs. Have to change. The times have changed. Let me see if I have any more pictures of the eggs. Give me one sec. I'm gonna see if I can find. Yeah, $8.94. That was wild. When I saw that price, I was like, "What in the is going on here? What's happening? Why the egg prices are so high? It just didn't make any sense." That was like I felt like that was a cash grab. Like literally, it was like a short time where the eggs was just so ridiculously high that I feel like someone cashed in on that and was stealing from us right in front of us. Yeah, it's crazy. It's really crazy. I'm trying to see if I have any more pictures of eggs. It's like I have so many pictures. It's like I come with receipts. I take pictures when I need to and certain things, and a lot of my life is in this pictures here and things I've done, and really cute pictures, especially of my niece. Look, I got the I gotta share this one day, man. I got some beautiful pictures from the when we had the aurora, the northern lights. Not this one that passed, the one before. I took a picture of a double rainbow during okay, you see how my background is? Like it's a lighter pink purple colors in it, and it's a double rainbow, and it's during a Northern Lights event early in the morning. I was facing north and I saw the rainbows, and I was taking pictures of it, and you can see it had the Northern Lights, different shades of purple in the very early morning, which was very unique during a solar event that we got, the Northern Lights, and I took these powerful rainbow pictures, which I need to share. I need to start getting back on my Discord. Eventually, I'll get back on there on my page on there. I need to get back on Discord and share the pictures and have. I'm just trying to see if I can find this thing. I don't think I have I don't know if I have any more pictures. But the prices were crazy, man. Like ridiculously crazy. Damn, I have a lot of pictures. I'm gonna have to do like a photo dump and just put all these pictures on a. I gotta put these pictures on a disk file, put it on those micro discs, and just transfer all the pictures over to. Because, boy, I got lots. Holy smokes, I got so many pictures. And beautiful pictures, too. I got, like, really, really beautiful pictures. I should just do, see, I don't do Instagram. I don't do any of those sites. I'm not really good on communications, especially on most multimedia sites. I'm just not a really good communicator sometimes. Sometimes I'm good. Sometimes, like, especially if it's someone that's really cool and stuff, then yeah, I respond in a heartbeat. But sometimes when I don't feel good, I just don't communicate. Which is, I'm like a hermit crab. And I just really keep to myself. It happens from time to time, a lot of times. Yeah, you try to get over it sometimes, and the show helps a lot getting over that. But man, I got so many beautiful pictures. I want to go chasing waterfalls again. But if I do, I'll probably go to once they fire Letitia James, once they get rid of her as AG, then I'll take a trip to upstate New York, and I'll go to a couple of waterfalls. So I think it's pretty cool. I would do it. You know me. This year, it's just this. We're halfway. We passed the halfway mark, everyone. We passed the halfway mark, and we got a lot to go. Yeah, I never trusted him. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to talk more about Elon in the future. We'll do a future show about him. Let's go back to another story here. This one is the same office, with Trump, and he's talking about the auto pen under the Biden administration. So let's take a look at this.
Biden, Mr. President?
Yeah, Biden, you said
Your predecessor dismissed your auto pen investigation. He said he made all the decisions during his presidency. I'm curious your reaction to his dismissal.
Well, look, the auto pen, I think, is the big scandal outside of the rigged election of 2020. I think the biggest scandal of the last many years is the auto pen. And who's using it? I happen to think I know, okay, because I'm here. And I'm not a big auto pen person, fortunately. I'm glad. I'm very glad. It's an easy way out. But it's a very bad thing, very dangerous. You know, I sign important documents. Usually when they put documents in front of you, they're important. Even if you're signing ambassadorships, and I consider that important. I think it's inappropriate. You have somebody that's devoting 4 years of their life or more to being an ambassador. I think you really that person deserves to get a real signature, not an auto pen signature. And I can tell auto pen easily. I can look at it. Like two little pinholes from pulling the paper, right? You always see the pinholes. Yeah. It's real easy to tell about auto pen. I think it's very disrespectful to people when they get an auto pen signature. Outside, auto pen to me are used when thousands of letters come in from young people all over the country and you want to get them back. And, people use auto pens for that, to send a little signature at the bottom of a letter. We have thousands of them. We get thousands of letters a week. And it's not possible to, do. I'd like to do it myself, but you can't do it. To me, that's where auto pens start and stop. But I'm sure that he didn't know many of the things. Look, he was never for open borders. He was never for transgender for everybody. He was never for men playing in women's sports. I mean, he changed, all of these things that changed so radically. I don't think he had any idea that frankly, I said it during the debate and I say it now, he didn't have much of an idea what was going on.
Mr. President,
He shouldn't be, essentially whoever used the auto pen was the president. And that is wrong, it's illegal, it's so bad, and it's so disrespectful to our country. Somebody said auto pen. Did I hear the word auto pen?
I'm just curious.
Because I think it's the biggest scandal maybe in the last 100 years in this country. So when I hear that word, I think it has to be discussed, because the fake news will try and hide it, and we can't do that.
Well, that's
But go
what I'm
ahead.
asking. Have you uncovered any evidence that anything specific was signed without President Biden's knowledge or by other people in the administration acting illegally?
Well, I don't think Biden would know whether or not he signed it.
I'm asking if you've uncovered any of that information.
No, but I've uncovered, the human mind. I was in a debate with the human mind, and I didn't think he knew what the hell he was doing. So, it's just one of those things, one of those problems. We can't ever allow that to happen to our country. The danger our country was in, and I know some of the people that worked with him, radical left, horrible people. And I could give you the name of some of the people that used the auto pen, because I'm here, and I ask questions about people that were here also. There are a lot of people that were here when that happened, and they're here right now, and they'll answer your question very accurately. But I know some of the people that use that auto pen, and those are not the people that had the same ideology as Joe Biden. These were radical left lunatics that used that, and they didn't get elected. He didn't get elected either, actually. Thank you very much, everybody.
Wow. That's this country is very weird. There's a lot of weird things going on. Like a lot of weird things. And I don't think things are gonna get any better. But the criticism by Elon, and Elon thinking maybe the Democrats were right, when they were saying, "Oh, Elon's president," and when the real president made a decision and is rolling with it, then you have this former Democrat crying pretty much out loud and complaining. And I'm sure it's because of that. They're taking out that green bullshit and that's going to affect Elon's companies. It's going to affect, because those are rebates. Those are, you get a certain percentage back if you buy this car, and the government will give you $10,000 and per car, whatever, if you purchase, and they'll come up with some crazy shit. And Elon's not happy that Trump is taking that away. So you're gonna have to pay a fair market value on the vehicle. Now, you will get still discounts on it if it's an American car. It's made here in America. So there will be there's going to be deals in the future. Okay? There's going to be deals. They'll probably bring back the Cash for Clunkers. That was a good little program they had. I took advantage of that program and actually got a really good car at that time. And I think something like that in the future will boost the car industry and get more people to come in and buy cars and to trade in their cars for newer cars. I see a big incentive coming up, and you can use it towards EV, or you can use it towards any American car. It has to be, and I think it's going to have to be American cars that's going to go for. So, like companies like that's really going to take advantage of this is cars that are made here in America. So let's make an example, Honda, right? We know that's a Japanese car, but if Honda made the vehicle here in the United States, then they'll get those incentives, they'll get that cash for those programs that will help their dealership. And that's what Trump's trying to do, is bring the money back here, bring the competition, bring the work, bring in everything here to the United States. Trump knows what he's doing. I know they're going to come out with really good incentives, and we're going to have a good time. As in the future, it looks bright. Right now is very dim. Right now, 2025 is just not a good year. Remember, Trump's just taking over, so everything's just still out of whack. Democrats are becoming independents, and Democrats that became Republicans are now probably like Elon. He's just lost right now, and then because he knows he's leaving the White House, so he's like, damn, but I need to make money. So what can I do to change the shift and change the narrative? Oh, well, let me just go back to my democratic ways and just talk bad now about Trump, and then let's boost our sales again, and he'll apologize to the Democrats, and then they're already accepting. They want to take him back already. And all these Democrats, they're so hypocrites that they're like, they're already jumping on Trump, on Elon, and like, Elon, please, we'll take you back. Come on our side. Like, are you kidding me? Like, that's disgusting. The Democrats are so helpless. They're so hopeless. And they're a very disgusting party. I don't know how, like, are they humans? Are these midichlorians that are inside these individuals are really running the show? Like, aliens could be defined as anything that's like that's foreign, right? So everyone has midichlorians inside of them. You have these little bugs and germs, and you see all these little, like, you could check it out under a microscope. You can see your little midichlorians going everywhere, and everyone has this in them. But as a Democrat, like, is there alien type of midichlorians that are manipulating humans to think a certain way and act a certain way and respond a certain way? Because they're very weird, and I'm seeing it from the outside in. I'm just looking as a witness, and I just noticed, like, people, especially Democrats, are very weird. They act weird, and I just don't get it. I don't get it. Let's see if we could do another story here. I got a whole bunch of stories to watch. I'm just sharing the stories with you guys. So let me clear out some of these that we already watch. Clear that one out. I'll do that after we start another one. We got a travel ban. So we got a couple of ones, good ones too. Let's go to the travel ban, and we'll see what this is about. Let me set it up here. Okay. Let's check this out.
President Trump says a new travel ban impacting 12 countries will take effect Monday. The president also confirming that he spoke with the Chinese president this morning. Natalie Brand reports.
President Trump and Chinese President Xi spoke by phone this morning amid escalating trade tensions between the world's two largest economies. Tariffs are also on the agenda as President Trump welcomes Germany's new chancellor to the White House. The visit comes as President Trump looks to bar citizens from several other countries from entering the U.S.
Nothing will stop us from keeping America safe.
The order takes effect Monday, impacting foreign nationals from 12 countries, mostly in the Middle East and Africa, and partially restricting entry from 7 others. The White House says there will be exceptions for lawful permanent residents, existing visa holders, and some other categories.
In my first term, my powerful travel restrictions were one of our most successful policies.
The president's first-term travel ban triggered protests nationwide, confusion at airports, and legal challenges, with conservative justices on the U.S. Supreme Court ultimately upholding it. Advocacy groups, including the International Refugee Assistance Project, denounced the new travel ban and are working on their next steps.
We're certainly exploring all of our options to protect people seeking humanitarian pathways to the U.S.
President Trump is also pressing the Senate to pass his massive budget bill, but the legislation is facing a new round of attacks from Elon Musk. In a series of social media posts,
he made it to this
formal advisory
cycle?
role recently ended, is calling on lawmakers to kill the bill, saying, quote, bankrupting America is not okay.
Elon, look, we don't have time for a brand new bill. And I want Elon and all my friends to recognize the complexity of what we've accomplished here.
GOP leaders from the House and Senate say the wheels are already in motion to get this package passed. Natalie Brand, CBS News.
I wonder what's in the bill that it's so Elon's against. They don't even mention like the type of bill that Elon. Of course, he has. Did he really review it? Like, what does he know? What does he not like? Like, I don't hear stories about that. I only hear about he doesn't like it. It's you know, but give us some answers on why you don't like it. Do a little press conference and talk about it. Like, we just have to go by assumptions, what the media tells us, and media is going to manipulate what he says or what he does, or even if he doesn't say it, they're going to still manipulate it in ways to make it seem like he did. And it's just crazy. This world is crazy. Let's continue here to the story. Is the Chinese nationals charged with smuggling dangerous pathogens at Metro Airport. This will be interesting. I think this is out of Michigan.
Well, Fox 2 continued to follow a news alert today involving 2 Chinese nationals accused of smuggling a dangerous pathogen into the United States.
And officials say the substance is a fungus that experts say could be used to threaten food crops if it spread. Fox 2's Amy Lang joining us live now with what else she's learned. Amy.
Well, the complaint has certainly made for some interesting reading. Ruben Taryn, investigators say this fungus could be used in agro-terrorism. It wipes out crops and sickens people and animals. And right now, it's just not clear what these Chinese scientists intended to do.
My name is Yunqing Jie.
33-year-old Yuxin Jian, a scientist and student from China working as a postdoctoral research fellow in a lab at the University of Michigan. On Tuesday, inside federal court, charged with conspiracy, smuggling, and making false statements. It's alleged her boyfriend, 34-year-old Yang Lu, also a scientist from China, was caught at Detroit Metro Airport smuggling a dangerous fungus into the country. Fusarium graminearum attacks barley, corn, and wheat, and could be used for purposes of agro-terrorism. According to this complaint, in July of 2024, Customs and Border Patrol found a wad of tissues in a pocket in Lu's backpack. Investigators say the tissues concealed a note in Chinese, a round piece of filter paper with a series of circles drawn on it, and 4 clear plastic baggies with small clumps of reddish plant material inside. Investigators say Lu lied about the materials before admitting he was smuggling them in to do research at the lab where his girlfriend was working at the University of Michigan. Investigators say Lu's iPhone contained an article titled 2018 Plant Pathogen Warfare Under Changing Climate Conditions. They also uncovered messages between the two conspiring to bring pathogens into the United States. He was denied entry and sent back. It's believed he's currently back in China. His girlfriend, Jian, is still here, now facing serious charges.
Conspiracy to commit an offense or defraud the United States smuggling goods into the United States, false statements.
We're not allowed to have cameras in federal court, but I can tell you that this defendant looked very scared. She was handcuffed and shackled at the waist. She closed her eyes as the charges against her were read. According to the complaint, investigators say they found evidence that Jian smuggled biological materials into the United States prior to this, and that she is loyal to the Chinese Communist Party, which they say helped finance her studies and research.
Let me ask the government, what is your position on bond?
The government's seeking detention, Your Honor.
Seeking detention because they say she's a flight risk. The University of Michigan issued a statement condemning any actions that seek to cause harm or threaten national security. The university says it has received no funding from the Chinese government in relation to research conducted by the accused. So, yeah, just a very interesting read, not a fungus that I have heard of before, and so it was quite educational to explore all of this. And again, we don't really know what the intention was.
Well, and that's
Okay, listen. If they're talking about this story like that, I tell you right now, and how I feel with the energy, this bioweapon is already here inside the United States. They snuck it in through Mexico. They snuck it in through Canada. They just so happens to have caught this from someone that was traveling by airline. But I think this is more telling than what meets the eye. And I think what's happening here is like this pathogens and this type of bioweapons is already here in the United States. It's already here. Like, these people are here. They're here. Yeah, they're here. And that's why they want to start eliminating these people. Stop, like, they want to have the travel ban. They're going to put travel bans on a lot of people, a lot of places, and they're going to try to, I heard in a report that they're activating I think it was 20,000 national reserves. They're activating them, and they're going to be helping with illegal immigration, and they're going to be working with ICE to deport immigrants out of the country. So, and that was in a report that I saw. 20,000 ICE agents are, well, they're not going to be ICE agents, but they're national reserves. The reserves. They're gonna bring them up to active, and they're gonna put them to help with the ICE agents, the police, and so forth, to start eliminating these individuals, and not eliminating, like taking them out, but deporting, and you gotta arrest them, and they need help, clinical, because remember, there's a lot of paperwork, and they need the help. They're very understaffed for the mission that they're in right now, because you got to understand, over 20 million individuals has gotten into this country illegally. Okay, just think about that real quick. 20 million. If I had 20 million in cash, I would have the bangiest stage here, and freaking, I'll have, like, my production will be like 100 times, maybe 1,000 times better than what I have right now. And I'm happy with what I have right now. But I tell you right now, if I had that 20 million, man, and the help that I could do for people, oh man, that's another level. But no, it's a lot. It's a lot of money, right? Think about it for yourself. Like, imagine $20 million in your account. How would you feel? You'd be like, damn, that feels good, man. I'm rich, And now turn it around and think 20 million illegals here in the United States. That's very heavy amount of people. And you're talking about 20,000 to go after 20 million. The numbers are very low on one side compared to the other. 20 million is like, hold on, let me make myself big here. Okay, 20 million is way up here. 20,000 is like 20 million is way up there. It's probably beyond the picture. This area is so big. Like I could reach up, I still can't touch because it's so big. But wait, it's down here somewhere. The 20,000. That's it's a little. It's not much, but it's something. Okay, 20,000. I think I would have made it 100,000, and that's interesting to get it going. At least get them active so they're out and doing things. And I know there's going to be some natural disasters coming to the United States, so it'll be good to have them active, and they could also help like with FEMA, because FEMA is garbage and Trump needs to tackle FEMA. I think, I'm the only one that talks about this shit and thinks about this shit, but natural disasters like hurricanes is going to happen this year. And FEMA is their life support. Like what are they going to do with that? Like if we get like 3 hurricanes, supercharged hurricanes making landfall, like how I just thinking about it, it gives me like a headache because it's just so unreal. Like, are people ready for that? It's gonna be a wild year. I said 2025 is going to be a wild year. I stick to what I said, and it's just halfway, and it's just overwhelming already, and we still have so much to go. And the way Elon flipped in not even a year, probably a year, less than a year, he goes from super Trump fan, super Trump boy, super donator, like donates, and then now he's acting like weird because he's not working with the government, so he's back to his regular day job, working, at SpaceX and dealing with his Tesla, and so forth. And he feels, I don't know, he's acting very weird. It's like when a child, you reprimand them and you send them to their room. Well, that's what Elon's doing. He's just stomping his feet while he's going to the room. And now, if I stomp my feet and go into my room, I expect a shoe or something coming right at my head from my mom if I was to do that. I guarantee you, my mom will Shawn Michaels super kick me in the head, and I will fly to the room if I stomp my feet when I was walking out. And that's what I feel like Elon is doing. He's just like mad that he's not a part of it, and he felt some kind of power, and he's a very power hungry individual, and he had a taste of it, and he tried to control the narrative, and they let him for a bit, but he's not the president. He was not elected to office. He's just a big baby. Elon the big baby. I have a Elon baby picture that I took, and I was like, this is what I feel. He is a weirdo. He had a Mickey Mouse shirt on. Mickey Mouse. Okay? So these are signs. I never had a fucking Mickey Mouse shirt. I don't think I ever had as a toddler. I was born in 80. Elon was born when he was fucking born. I have it here. Fucking Elon's weird as fuck, man. I told you guys, man. I wish Trump was my boy, you know? I wish he would be like, hey, Rick, I need you to come to the White House. I seen your videos. You're very real with your energy. I could use someone like you to help me and just tell me what you feel and how you feel. You know, what the energy is telling you. Like, Elon, I don't trust him, man. When he was born in the 70s. I can ask Google. Ask Google for everything. Hey, Google. When was Elon Musk born?
Elon Musk was born on June 28, 1971.
His birthday's coming up. He has a birthday coming up. June 28th. I wish they had more to say about Elon. That's weird. Hey, Josie. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Talking about weirdo Elon. I always tell people, you know, I don't trust him. Never did trust him. I stick with my guns when I know, what I feel. I just say it, and the proof is in the pudding. I come with receipts. Like, what more you want from me? But let's go to another news. I'm already done with this Chinese one here. This one's wild. I just saw this today. Like, I want to share this one because this one's just a weird one. Husband of missing pregnant woman admits he killed her during an argument. I don't know if you know about this. I don't know about this. I'm learning. This is from Hawaii. Okay. So yeah, I do people news from around the world. I don't care where you're from. If it catches my attention, we'll talk about it. And Hawaii is a 50 state, so it is part of the United States. They are a part of the United States, so it's not like it's just another state, but it's separated by water. Like, go figure. Like, you too, Alaska. You guys are just Alaska is very beautiful, but very weird at the same time. Let's go to paradise, not so paradise, Alaska.
A major development in the case of Misha Johnson, the pregnant Hawaii woman who went missing last July. Her soldier husband admitted to killing her out of rage. We warn you, some of the details in this story are disturbing. Stephen Farino reports.
Cameras were not allowed at the courtroom at Wheeler. However, we did watch a live feed from here at Schofield Barracks. This is the first time we have Private First Class Dwayne Johnson. I can tell you he did look proper in the courtroom. He was clean cut, clean shaven. He had his full dress uniform on, and he was very polite to the judge. Answered, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. But he was very stoic and emotionless when talking about the night he killed the woman he called the love of his life. And we warn you, some of these details are graphic. Johnson's wife, 19-year-old Misha Johnson, reported missing on August 1st last year. She was 6 months pregnant at the time. In court today, PFC Johnson said on July 12th, the two argued because Misha accused him of cheating and threatened to keep his baby's life. Johnson said that made him overwhelmed with rage, and he grabbed the machete he kept next to his bed and struck Misha in the left temple. He said he wanted to hurt her, but he did not intend to kill her. PFC Johnson admitted he dismembered her body, put her body pieces in trash bags, and threw her in a dumpster at his unit on Schofield Barracks. He said he thought he did that because it would be easier for the body to not be found, and he also knew that that dumpster was going straight to the incinerator. I want to go back to the mood in the courtroom. Johnson, again, emotionless and cold when he's describing what happened. The gallery, however, was the exact opposite. They were very emotional. They gasped and they cried when they heard what happened. One woman was crying so much, crying hysterically, that she needed to go out and seek medical attention. PFC Johnson faces 10 to 20 years for each of those charges of voluntary manslaughter and death of an unborn child. Sentencing is scheduled to continue tomorrow.
No.
Reporting from Schofield
10
Barracks,
to
Steve
20? No. That sounds stupid. 10 to 20 sounds very stupid. Come back to me. No. 10 to 20. No, how about he's going to face the death penalty and it's his life for sure, and he needs to be executed. I feel like an eye for an eye. If you do one if you do one to another, they should do back to you, type of thing. If you commit a crime of that nature, of that it results in death, the method of you doing the killing should be the same, back to you. And if he used a machete and killed her with a machete, he chopped up the body. Okay. He chopped up the body. He put them in plastic bags and he threw it in the dumpster. Let that play in your head. You gotta act like you're the jury right now. Okay? And you're listening to this in court. And me listening to it, the train, of course, on time, every time. That is wild. Okay. If you struck her and hit her by mistake, first of all, why would you have a machete next to your bed? If you're in the military, in the barracks, why are you having a weapon? Is this a premeditated crime? Is this premeditated? Because why? I'm just thinking, who the fuck has a machete next to their bed? Who? I don't know. I mean, if you're in a really bad neighborhood, I mean, a machete? It just... And knowing that she's pregnant, why would you even have the thought of hurting someone, even if it's an argument? How does that get into someone's thought that, all right, this is how I'm going to solve my issue. I'm going to just knock you the fuck out. What? But in that case, it went to the extreme that he grabbed a machete and struck her in her temple. You know, the temple was right here in your head, right here. And it killed her. She was probably dying, she was convulsing and seizuring and flopping like a fish, and until she stopped breathing. Imagine that feeling. And then the fact that he thought it was a good idea. The thought he came to his conclusions in his head that it was a great idea to chop up the body and put it in plastic bags. That was the most brilliant idea that came to his head. Like, are you kidding me? It blows my mind, the fact that he did that. You know the amount of blood loss, the smell, how can you chop a body? Like I listen, confessions. We're here. My mind over your matters, and I don't like needles. I don't like needles. Okay, how I could not like. I don't even want to pinch anyone with a needle. I had to do it for my grandmother. That God rest her soul. She's already passed. She's in the other side, and I'm sure she's having a great ass time. But I used to give her insulin, and I had to set it up. Shake the medicine because they had a refrigerator. Let it shake it a bit, and then put the syringe in, and then pull back and a certain amount, and then prep the area with alcohol and give it a little pinch and push the medicine, pull out. And that was it. And my grandmother, she says God, man, I miss her. But she was like, you do it the best. Because like she didn't feel it when I used to do it, and I guess my aunt, when she used to do it, she probably never did it, probably not right. And she didn't really like the way how my aunt, her daughter, poked her pretty much. Me, I guess, because I was more cautious because I don't like needles. How can you chop somebody up, put them in bags, think about this. You have to think about the whole scenario, right? Let's play this. This is kind of like astral projecting, right? We're going to the scene. We're jumping to the area of where it happens and where it happened, and just see from the story of what they're telling us, and project a scene and play in your head the events for it to happen. And then the fact that it happens and she goes through this death, and then he had the brightest idea to chop the body up. Now, did he use the same machete that he used to kill her to chop it up? Because you're not going to chop it very easily with a machete, and you're going to take multiple swipes in the area to cut it off. And remember, this she was a little heavy girl. She looked heavy. She was pregnant. I could show you. Let's go back to it. Give me 1 second, so I can show you what she looked like. Let me see if I could find it. She was a pretty, she was a little thick. She's a thick girl, small, but she was thick. Let me see if I could get up. Okay, she's pregnant. All right. So imagine you see this girl, right? And when you take pictures, it makes you a little. Well, she's full. She's pregnant, right? She's a thick girl. Look at her thighs. Look at her bust. Look at her arms. Like, she is a thick girl. Okay. This guy chopped this girl into pieces and threw her in the trash. The fact that he had to put it in the bag, seal it, take it downstairs, and dump it into the trash. Doing this multiple times. We don't hear about these stories here. We have to go searching for it. And that's what the internet is great for, is for linking us to different stories from around the world and other states. We're supposed to be united, but we're not so close to Hawaii. They don't even feel like a state. It feels like a destination, a vacation destination, more than a state. I'm just saying it's the truth. I mean, Hawaii is Hawaii, and I think, to be honest, I never thought Hawaii should have been Hawaii. It shouldn't. The only reason why we have Hawaii is because it's a halfway point in the Pacific to that side of the world where it could be unstable at times. So that's the only reason Hawaii became a state, but it shouldn't have. It should have just been a commonwealth like Puerto Rico, like a commonwealth, and we should have just been 49 state. And the 50th state could have been a different country. Maybe it could have been Canada. Maybe it could be Greenland. We have a better chance probably with Greenland than we do with Canada. But I'm just saying, Hawaii, to me, I feel like that's just a destination. And poor girl, man, she got really chopped up. That's fucked up. The mask is a third eye mask. The mask on my table is a voodoo mask. It's an African mask. It's a mask that I got from New Orleans. I got it from a voodoo priestess down in New Orleans. But ever since I got this mask, I've been seeing everything with my third eye open. Every story I watch, everything that's happening in the world has just been so activated. By me having it, I've been seeing a lot of things being exposed and right in front of us, and everybody's witnessing it too. So it's a very good thing. But Elon is odd. He is odd. Let me leave. It's hard to see. I gotta use my phone because I'm trying to see it from my television, and it's a distance. That like where I'm watching right now, it's about 12 feet away from me, and I'm trying to read what you write with my glasses on, and I would like to take off my glasses, give my eyes a fucking break, and then use my phone so I can read the comments. I'm so sorry. I didn't have it on my phone. I was using, actually, let me use this other phone because that one I could use it for looking up information. Yeah, I'm a big baller. I got two phones. I wasn't gonna give up my phone, especially that I pay for it. Like, oh, that's what it is. This Musk claims Trump is in the Epstein files after daring president to cancel SpaceX contracts. Huh. So President Trump could be in the Epstein files. That makes sense. I kind of think he did go to the island. I believe he did. I never felt like he didn't. I felt like he did. I felt like he's been there. He's gotta remember this was before he, like, this is going back into the Clinton days. Okay, this is even before he even thought of being a president. So it kind of really does make sense why the Epstein files list has not come out yet, because the true files, the true information that a lot of these politicians have been to the island. A lot of them, all of them, they all been, and it's just where and when does the buck stops? Maybe JD Vance comes in, once Trump's done, and maybe that'll be a fresh start. Democrats, they're just not great right now. They're not in a good position. But times are weird right now. Give me a second. Let me open this up here. Yeah, I gotta put on my glasses anyways. I'll give my eyes a little break. I gotta get new glasses anyways. I gotta go in and do all those tests and shit. Sick as fuck. Yeah, sick as fuck. Big time. I don't know why the long one about Elon didn't show up here on my phone, but it showed up here on StreamYard. That's weird. That's weird. Because I'm seeing what you wrote, Josie. And the next one about the Elon is not here on YouTube. I see it on my StreamYard. I should take a picture of it. Because it's not on here. I could show you. Hold on. I'll show you. I gotta come with receipts. So what you wrote about Elon is not here. It's not here. Now what I have here on my StreamYard, I'll take a picture of it real quick. You know what you wrote, but like I said, I come with evidence that YouTube is censoring. Damn, I had the flash. Hold on, let me take another picture without the flash. Okay. So I took one without the flash. Now it says camera failed on my phone. Like, camera failed. Weird. That really doesn't happen on my phone. Let me see if I got the Elon text on here. No, look. I took the picture. And it doesn't want to show. It doesn't want to show. Now. Okay, now it shows. I took it with the flash. But I took one without the flash and I couldn't get that picture. So let me see if I can take another one without the flash. Hold on, let me. Okay. So here it is without the flash. And that's what Josie wrote about Elon is odd. I believe what his caretaker said about him when he was a kid. He sent her to a demon room. She was shaken while talking about it even years after. Huh. Yeah. Yeah, but you see, YouTube is hiding the comments. Because I go to YouTube. And go to YouTube right here. And that's the show. My Mind on Your Matter. And these are the conversations we've had. And that comment that you wrote, Josie, has been taken out of YouTube. It's not in the comments. And I have it here on StreamYard. So I did get your they're watching and they're listening and they're here on my channel. I've been saying it, that they're watching me. And this is proof that they're watching me. It's proof they're watching. They're always watching. They're watching. It's what it is. They're watching us. Hi. By any chance, say what's up to YouTube. They're my biggest fans. that the suppression is great, but the attention I feel. And but yeah, this is a third eye mask. It's a voodoo mask. I talked about it a lot of times. I've done shows. I did a show when I got it. I did a show about it. It was selected for me, especially for me, for what I'm capable with myself and my powers. I would say yes, powers and my gifts, that the voodoo priestess deemed that this mask is for me, and it's the third eye mask. That's wild. Let's see what other story I can come up here with, because I'm not done yet here. We did the Chinese already. I got only a couple of more to go. Yeah, we could let's do another one of these, this Trump and Elon story. This one's coming from CBS News. So let's take a look at it. Let's see the wording. Remember, feel the energy. Okay, let me break it down to you. So this is practice. This is all practice. So we're practicing together. You're a witness. Okay. Feel the energy. Listen to the words. Listen to the way they're saying the words and how they're projecting what they're trying to say to us. And feel the energy from the tones, and listen to the story, and then come to your conclusions of what is really going on. Okay. Media is very good at manipulating. They're very good. They did it today here, proven that comment didn't even show up. I'm gonna probably take another good picture of it before I close out here, because I want to take it with my phone, because I took it with the backup phone, but I gotta take it with the good one, the good phone. Let me see if I can take it from here. I got a really good camera on my phone. All right, let's see if I can zoom in. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I don't even have to stand up. Oh, that's good. Let me put it right there. Oh, I took 2 pictures. Oh, and they both came out good. Okay, I'll keep that. I'll put it there, so that way I have for evidence, because that's crazy. Censorship is crazy. Elon he's the protected child, and now the Democrats are seeping and hoping and praying that he comes back to them in open arms, and he's be taken into their party, and he becomes the running for presidency for the Democrats. Can Elon run for presidency? No. He is an immigrant from South Africa. But is that gonna stop anyone? No. They do what they want, and they don't care. This sucks. All right, so let's go ahead and show the next story. Let's get another story here. Let me see. Which one should we go next? Damn, after that Decemberment, that really drove me a little wild. So where was it that I was gonna go to? It's this one right here. So this is Peter Doocy. Let me see. No, this is not the one. Give me 1 sec. It's this one. So this one, let's go ahead and watch this one. As Trump says he's disappointed by Musk criticism of budget bill. Musk says he got Trump elected. That's Democrat. That's a Democrat right there.
To Capitol Hill now, and the battle over the president's so-called big, beautiful budget bill. The rhetoric between Trump and Elon Musk, well, it is heating up over Musk's slamming of the bill. Here's the president from just a short time ago.
Look, Elon and I had a great relationship. I don't know if we're well anymore. I was surprised because you were here. Everybody in this room practically was here as we had a wonderful send-off. He said wonderful things about me. You couldn't have nicer. Said the best thing. He's worn the hat. Trump was right about everything.
In a string of social media responses, Musk said that he was never shown the bill and that it was, quote, passed in the dead of night so far that almost no one in Congress could even read it. He also posted, without me, Trump would have lost the election. Dems would control the House and the Republicans would be 51-49 in the Senate. But he didn't end there. He said moments later, he posted, quote, such ingratitude. CBS News congressional reporter Torian Small joins us now with much more on this tug of war between Trump and Musk. I want to say we didn't see that coming, but maybe some of us did. Why are Republicans so concerned about what Musk thinks about the bill?
Well, Mugo, as you know, and as Musk pointed out there, he was a big part of Donald Trump's reelection campaign, had the pulse to the MAGA movement for quite a bit, and he was a part of the administration serving as the de facto leader of DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency. The reason why he is coming out so forceful is because he believes that this bill would be antithetical to the point of his being a part of the government in the first place, which was to get rid of costs, high costs, waste, fraud, and abuse, as he calls it. But this bill, as we've mentioned before quite a bit, would add several $1 trillion to the federal deficit. A CBO report also, analysis, I should say, also reported that this could cost several $1 trillion in revenue to the United States. This is one bill, though, that would also make permanent Donald Trump's 2017 tax cuts, which has been probably the pillar of Donald Trump's 2024 presidential election, which is why we're seeing the president so gung-ho on getting this through, and which is why we're seeing Republican leadership endorsing the president over Musk on this one.
And something else here to note, Torian, is the Congressional Budget Office also found nearly 8 million people will lose their health insurance through Medicaid because of the bill's cuts. So how is that sitting with senators?
Yeah, and part of the reason for that is because of the increased work requirements, about 20 hours a week for either schooling, a job, or volunteer work. There's also some different changes or provisions in this bill that would change up the way the state and federal government shares the cost of Medicaid. That's cause for concern for quite a few Republicans here, like Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri. He said that could be a real big strain on rural hospitals. We also heard from Senator Tommy Tuberville of Alabama. He said he has some concerns about cuts to Medicaid as well. Problem though he's seeing with this is he wants to get through Donald Trump's tax bill, but he says, and this is pretty colorful, he said that the bill is like putting lipstick on a pig. He still will endorse that pig or move that pig forward, but for some reason why that was the illusion that he wanted to create with this. Listen, this is one of those things where Republicans have to coalesce around it because they have a very slim majority in the House. They're able to get through this bill through without a filibuster-proof majority because of the budget reconciliation process, but still, only 3 defectors they're allowed to go against the Republican Party. If more than that, this bill is essentially dead, Mugo.
Wow. Let's talk about another aspect of the bill that just hasn't gotten a lot of attention just yet. And it's a provision that critics say is Trump's way of weakening the judiciary. Can you talk to us about this one?
Yeah, so in this bill, there's also a provision that would essentially bar courts, federal, broader than that, from holding in contempt any injunctions taken against the administration. This is seemingly a response from Republicans to the many injunctions against Donald Trump's executive orders. Many courts saying that he either doesn't have the unilateral power to do some of the actions that he's taking, or they're unconstitutional. This is also potentially another bid to shore up the process, as many of this litigation is working its way up to the Supreme Court. But Republicans are saying, and have been saying for a while now, that these courts are run by activist judges. They're looking to get ahead of that now. Democrats are obviously saying that's false, and they're looking to give more power, even more power, to the president than he already has.
All right, we'll see what happens.
I don't know.
Small, thank you so much for your time.
I tell you right now.
Appreciate it.
I feel like the courts are overstepping a lot of their boundaries, and they need to let Trump run the country. And he was elected as president to, you know, for his agendas and his promises that he made during the process of becoming president. You know, he got elected and he won, you know, majority of the vote also, and the popular vote too. No way in hell imagine Kamala right now as president. Oh man, we would be in World War III right now. We would be in World War III. Ukraine would have probably the nuclear bomb. They would have given them that would have been such a fucking nightmare. Such a nightmare. And I feel like this is just a fabric of time that we're in. We're in different fabrics of time that it you know, what we do affects our future and our destiny. And, you know, the direction can always go, you know, side to side, up and down. It's never stable. It's always all over the place. And the energy is very weird. It's just very, very, very weird. Let me see here. We already saw that. All right, the next few ones that I have here are based let's go to the I'm gonna leave this one for the last one. This the ugly one. Oh, talking about ugly, let's go to this one. This is another ugly one. Karine Jean-Pierre. She's an independent, and she was wrong about everything, and she should be put in jail. She should be put in a prison. She should be deported because she is an immigrant. She's a gay immigrant. So for pride, listen, I'll have the pride of telling Karine to be like, listen, girl, self-deport and just leave. You're saving yourself. We're saving the American people a lot of money and the headache to having to listen to you about you again in the media. I thought we were done with you, and now we have a spotlight on you because you came out with a stupid book that now the truth is coming out. So everything that I'm seeing, everything's just being exposed. That's why I got this third eye mask, because everything I'm seeing is just wide open, exposed, and the ones that were like really poisoned, they're being exposed, and they're exposing themselves easily and like nothing. Like, it's just the weirdest thing. And she wrote a book, and that's the reason why she's trying to like top Jay Tapper's book. But people are gonna buy it, they're gonna read it, and they're gonna know she's just a big fake. And she faked out the American people and gaslit us, because that was her term, gaslit and deep fakes. That was her quotations. Like, yeah, fucking idiot. Let's go to that story, and then I'll wrap it up with the two last stories, and then I'll be done with the show.
Some serious allegations and also serious pushback. Former President Biden responding after this investigation, insisting that he was in control of the White House at all times and that he made all the decisions.
So meanwhile, you've got Karine Jean-Pierre, Biden's former press secretary and very public defender, is catching fire from just about all sides after ditching the Democrats in a move time with her new book launch. Watch here.
What I have decided to do, and I really have thought long and hard about this, is to follow my own compass. And here's the truth, and here's how I will lay it out to you. I think we need to stop thinking in boxes and think outside of our boxes and not be so partisan.
Okay, senior White House correspondent Peter Doocy knows the issue well from the North Lawn Live. Peter, what's going on? Good morning.
Good morning, Bill. The first story first. President Biden basically came out of retirement overnight to clap back at President Trump's constant claims that Biden aides, were acting as president to cover up for a declining president. Joe Biden himself says, "Let me be clear. I made the decisions during my presidency. I made the decisions about the pardons, executive orders, legislation, and proclamations. Any suggestion that I didn't is ridiculous and false." We may get some new insight into how Biden's final days actually shook out from the former press secretary, who always painted a very rosy picture behind the scenes and is hawking a new book.
In an era of misinformation, disinformation, the regressiveness of social policy, what we're seeing currently right now, what I have decided to do, and I really have thought long and hard about this, is to follow my own compass. So this book, Independent, it's about looking outside of boxes, not just always being in a partisan stance, and how do we move forward together?
About that, a Democratic operative tells Fox the job market is really tough right now for Biden spokespeople, and I cannot begrudge anyone who needs to make a quick buck. Simone Sanders, who worked with KJP at the White House, says a lot of group chats were revived today. And Jean-Pierre never sounded unhappy in her job, including here.
Let me tell you something. I'm the White House press secretary. It is an honor and a privilege. You hear me say this all the time. Honor and privilege to stand before you to be able to do that job. I am proud to be standing here at this podium behind this lectern on behalf of the Biden-Harris administration.
Doesn't sound like it now. That clip was in mid-August. So either she did not come to the conclusion that the Biden White House was broken, her word, until mid-August, or she was stretching the truth there about how much she liked being the White House press secretary.
So we are fortunate right now for our viewers at home to have both of our correspondents who covered the Biden White House, all 4 years of it. And I just want to maybe open up a bit of a question to both of you. And Jackie, she used the word broken in the book title, A Broken White House. What's that say to you?
Great question, because she was telling us that things were chugging along and that that Joe Biden was running circles around her. But equally as eyebrow-raising for me is the word independent, because I would be really surprised to learn if there was anything independent about Karine Jean-Pierre, including her ability to think through things without the answers in a book in front of her after sitting in that press briefing room for 4 years. So I'm very excited to read this and hear her explain how she got there.
Peter, some of the Democrats are reacting already. Not a ton of names, frankly, but here's a sample of that. Former staffer, she made a joke about being independent last year, and now it's a book. All ideas are monetary, even the dumb ones. Another Biden official, she was the public face telling us all that this White House was on track and that Biden was amazing, and now she doesn't want to be a Democrat. 4 question marks there. Here is the one clip. This was July of 2022. Okay, so it's almost 3 years ago, about his stamina and physical capacity. Watch.
Does the president have the stamina, physically and mentally, do you think, to continue on even after 2024?
He's the president of the United States. You know, I can't even keep up with him. 80's the new 40. Didn't you hear?
Hold on, I have to pause that. She said she couldn't keep up with him, right? They say that she said that he was running circles around her, like he was always running in circles. So maybe he was running in fucking circles, and he was just confused and stuff, and like he was just all over the place, maybe. And maybe she was saying the truth, but she was just trying to say it in a ways that like didn't make it seem bad at the time. But maybe if you really think about it, when she says that he was running circles around her, maybe he was just all over the place and he would get lost and so forth. And you know, Biden is not the in the head, so maybe he was like, man, I wish it was more transparency in that White House. Like you could see everything, like, you know, those Big Brother type of thing, that have cameras and they monitor. And why we don't have cameras at the White House? I mean, in the public areas and the areas where it's of importance, but not like in the bathrooms or anything like that. But there should be cameras to monitor. I'm just surprised there isn't, and that's just weird to me. But let's go back to that crazy girl. She's a crazy girl. She's crazy. She's nuts. She was a very poor actress. She's very not good at that job as press secretary. And I've seen many of those press secretaries of hers, and she is just not good. And she's always deflecting, always sending people other places, and never really answers the questions that's put towards her. And there was never, not one time Biden has showed up to a press conference ever. It was just weird. It was just a weird presidency. So let me go ahead and continue here, and then we'll wrap it up with the two last ones, and we'll be done for the day.
He is as sharp as ever, as I have known him to be in my engagement and my experience with him.
Yeah, and Peter, I saw you and Jackie, and you guys were probing and poking all the time. It didn't seem like a whole lot of other people in that room were. What was your experience on that, Peter?
Well, my experience asking questions like that is that you ask the question, she pauses to answer it, but people behind you are groaning that you would even bring it up. I always found Karine Jean-Pierre behind the scenes to be a very nice person. And I think that we had a good working relationship because she did continue to call on us, even though the topics were usually pretty adversarial. But we have 4 years worth of video, 3 years with her, that shows that she was wrong. Recent history has proved her wrong on things like the border, like the economy, and like President Biden's decline. And I don't think she's going to come out in this book and say, I was wrong. Answer finally to something that I thought about for hours in that room, in their front row, when it wasn't my turn. Was she answering these questions based on her own personal experience, or was she answering questions based on what bosses were telling her to say?
Jackie, what do you think about that?
I just think it's interesting that she's saying she wants to, move away from the partisanship of things, because I remember when Karine Jean-Pierre suggested that all the videos of Joe Biden at his worst were cheap fakes and deep fakes and misinformation, when they were in fact the video that we as a press corps collected, on site, certainly not the product of AI. And she painted questions about him in those videos as partisan, bad faith questions. So, for her now to suggest that it's time to move away from the partisanship of this White House and take a real step back from that, I, would be curious to know who she's going to paint as the chief messenger of that, when she was the face of all of that when we were in there.
Yeah, very interesting point.
And I told her,
Peter.
Jackie, at one point when she told me that the entire premise of one of my questions in the fall, like towards the end, she said the entire premise of one of my questions was misinformation. And I told her, usually you're supposed to ask a question, but I took a moment to let her know you can't just say something is misinformation because you don't like it. And I think that was the end of that exchange. But who was telling her to go out there and dismiss things as misinformation, as entire subjects that have been proven to be true?
That's an interesting
who
point.
was telling her to do it?
Her job is to defend the president, right? Her job, Jackie, is to defend the administration, the decisions they make, right?
Well, let me just say.
Was she being forthcoming on that, or was it subterfuge? I don't want
That's
to
if we're
use.
supposed
I don't
to
want to use
accept-
the L. I don't want to use the word lying, but I mean, you were sitting there. What was your impression?
I might. I mean, that's if we're supposed to accept the premise that it was not her who was saying these things when we sat there and witnessed her do it. I don't know why if someone has this moral clarity right now, it didn't exist before. I find it hard to look upon that without some deep questions. So I will read the book and keep an open mind, but
And
it's going to be
you know what
interesting.
she could have done? There was an easy fix. If she really thought that the Biden White House was broken, she could have quit. She was, as the White House press secretary, the most prominent Democratic communicator, really political communicator in the entire world during her tenure. If she thought that things were so bad or that she was being sent out to the podium to say things that she did not know to be true, then she should have quit. And she didn't.
Peter, one question. Have you had a single person text you about this that wasn't shocked and very critical? Because, all my sources in that White House, they were pretty surprised that this is a claim now that she's going with.
No, and I was getting text messages from Biden officials yesterday about this, that if you told me a year ago that people that worked for Joe Biden or Kamala Harris would be sending me this, I never would have believed it. And again, I found her behind the scenes to be a very nice person, but it doesn't seem like anybody that worked with her thinks that, because the knives are out.
Yeah. Peter, thank you. Jackie, thank you. Time to reflect for both of you.
Wow.
I don't know if that's PTSD or that's a cleansing.
Probably both.
Wow. PTSD for sure. If you had to spend 3 years with this clown right here, and then 4 years with this other clown, and that's making clowns into bad. It's not good. So, yeah, let's go to the next story, because these two are just a bunch of clowns. This is about this ex-Arkansas police chief on the run since May 25th. We're June 5th. And this is we got there's a couple of stories here, and this is the one from New Orleans too. So let's take a look at this and see what's up.
For the two remaining escapees who jumped off the loading docks at the New Orleans City Jail. And speaking
These
of
two, they're
those
still
fugitives,
looking
we
for
have
them.
showed you the social media post that one of them decided was a good idea, where he swears that he was wrongly locked up and asks everybody under the sun to save him. Here again is what appears to be Antoine Massey on Sunday.
I'm one of the ones that was let out on News Parish jail where they said I escaped, right? I'm asking for help, please, before they throw me away for something that I did not do.
Let out? They say you escaped? My darling, you definitely escaped. We originally reported that he was being held on murder charges, but that has been updated to auto theft and domestic abuse involving strangulation. The other New Orleans escapee who hasn't been caught either is Derek Groves, and he's the one awaiting trial on 2 counts of second-degree murder and 3 counts of attempted second-degree murder. And as for the video that was posted, police aren't confirming yet, that it's legit on the record, but the Associated Press is reporting that police raided a home just a few miles from the jail after receiving a tip from relatives who recognized the room behind him in the post. The AP says Massey wasn't there, but guess what was? This distinctive clothing and the shoes, apparently, things he was wearing in the video and left behind at that location. My next guest knows more about tracking Antoine Massey than most, because Matthew Dennis caught Antoine Massey once before after a previous prison escape in 2023. Matthew's a bail bondsman and electronic monitoring specialist, and he's live with me now. Matthew, I was shocked when I heard that Antoine Massey had escaped before, and then you come along to tell us, oh no, he's escaped 4 times before. Why is this guy so good at it?
I think he's just had a lot of opportunities. I mean, it's spread out. It's through different agencies. I mean, he's had a lot of opportunities, and he clearly takes advantage of them.
So when you caught him, give me the specs on what the circumstances were, where you caught him, and what he was like.
Well, I mean, with Antoine, we caught him. It's hard to answer that question. I mean, we caught him in a way that I don't want him to know how we caught him. We caught him quickly. He cut his ankle monitor off, and within 4 hours, we had him back in jail. It's hard to answer that question. I'm sorry, because if I answer that question, he'll know how I caught him, and I don't need him to know that because, I mean, there could be other people involved.
Sure, and there's $50,000 on the line for whoever can bring this guy in or lead, get information that leads to his capture. So maybe just tell me what he's like. When you did finally get him in your grasp, what is he like?
Listen, Antoine came into our program on a court order. He was ordered into our program as a condition of his release. He was charged with strangulation, like you said, and the theft of the car, and it was a domestic case. He had previously cut an ankle monitor off, so they ordered him into our program because we have full arrest powers. We work directly with the bail agents. When Antoine came into our program, we knew he had cut a monitor off, so we were paying attention. He left our office and went straight to the Walmart on Bullard here out in New Orleans East, and he cut it off and he fled. And at that point, it's not just me, it's a team. It's a very professional bail agency called Blair's Bail Bonds. They're the agency that did the bond. They're very fast, they're very quick, they're very efficient, they're very professional. We can call them. They show up, they come with us. And their team is with us when we arrest Antoine. They know Antoine. They're the ones that get him out of jail. They're the ones that talk to his family. They're the ones that have all the information. We have the digital tracking data from the monitor. So catching Antoine was based on a cooperation between the bail agent and our agency and the court who ordered him onto the monitor, because it goes deeper than just the bondsman. We work directly with NOPD and with the U.S. Marshals Gulf Coast Task Force and other agencies to catch people like this. Antoine he's like any other person. The truth is, you made a mistake with Groves. Groves is not facing trial. He's convicted. He was facing sentencing and sent off to DOC for the rest of his life. With Massey, he wasn't facing a lot. He has an open case in St. Tammany for a rape charge, which is a domestic case connected to the same victim as the Orleans case. Antoine's claim that he's innocent and all of that. Antoine was convicted of domestic violence by strangulation, the auto theft. He was convicted of tampering with an ankle monitor, and he was put on probation. And he very quickly violated the probation, and he was rearrested and put in jail for violation of probation. While there, he caught a new charge out of St. Tammany. So Antoine's not innocent.
He's going to catch a new charge. He's going to catch a new charge when they catch him, if they catch him this time for escape. I got to wrap it there, but I want to have you back. Matthew Dennis, thank you so much for this.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our News Nation.
There's a lot going on with that case because I feel his energy and his side, and then the state has their energy and their side. They have the media, of course, but if there's a lot of stuff in that case. It's just very up in the air, man, and it's like I believe him, but then two wrongs don't make a right. You know what I mean? So it's like, but it's the only way that he could have get the attention. That's what he wanted, the attention on his case and his stuff. So that's what he accomplished. So if he gets caught, it's fine because his name is already out there and they're already talking. So that right there, it's a chance. It's like okay, you're about to win it's like you're hitting a free throw to win the game. He's trying to take an attempt to try to score here, and two wrongs don't make a right. Never has, never will. So let's go to this last story here. This last story is about let me see here. Let me set it up over this side. Sorry. Let's get this set up here. Let's go to the next story. And this is the new photo of this Travis Baker released, and they're in a manhunt. They're looking for this guy. He killed 3 of his daughters by strangling them. He choked them to death. There's 3 daughters. And it was 9, 8, and a 5-year-old, I believe. I think that's what their ages were. This guy, man, wow. If he don't have mental issues, I don't know. Like, is he gonna claim mental issues? I don't know. If they find him, well, dead or alive, this one he's a dunzo. He's done. So let's go ahead and play and listen to this.
News after reports of sightings of Travis Decker, the man you see here. He is wanted for killing 3 of his own daughters. Investigators say that those original sightings that we were hearing about earlier in the day weren't Decker after all. Now, all that news comes after talk of him being spotted in both Idaho and in the Wenatchee area.
But we are getting new Ring camera video from the Chelan County Sheriff's Office showing Decker from the days leading up to his visitation with his daughters. It's giving us a better visual of Decker and his current appearance. You can see he has a ponytail in this Ring video that you're seeing right there leaning into the shot.
We also have some new images showing his appearance from the days leading up to his visitation. The Sheriff's Office says they gathered new information about him as well. The big takeaways here: Decker is well-versed in wilderness survival and capable of spending days or even weeks in the woods with little equipment. Good evening, and thanks for joining us for Fox 13 News at 9. I'm Matthew Smith.
And I'm Sabir Rayford. Fox 13's Alejandro Guzman is joining us live from Wenatchee. Ali, investigators say he could be hiding anywhere.
That's right. As you guys mentioned, this manhunt is still ongoing tonight. Specifically, we're focusing on some of the challenges officials are currently facing because, as you guys mentioned, Sheriff Morrison is saying that Decker is essentially a survivalist who could essentially live out off the grid for months on end if that were the case. He said he spoke to his father, who told him that this is a hobby that he cultivated his entire life, but yet he remains optimistic tonight that the father will be brought to justice for his actions.
Clearly, this is not the outcome we wanted to see.
As the search for Travis Decker continues in Chelan County, the community of Wenatchee is remembering the young lives of Peyton, Olivia, and Evelyn.
It's not the decision of a sound mind, and these young girls were a victim.
Chelan County Sheriff Mike Morrison is confident Travis Decker will be found despite his ability to survive outdoors for months at a time, a hobby Decker's father says he cultivated as a young boy.
So we understand that that's a possibility, that he could have scoped out this area before, put supplies out there, and has the ability and the knowledge to survive for a long period of time.
Decker has about a 3-day head start. Morrison says U.S. Marshals have tracked down leads, giving them an insight into Decker's mindset. In the meantime, helicopters have been expanding their search after Morrison says they spotted a shirt in Icicle Creek. A swift water rescue team was also brought in to comb through the 8-mile stretch body of water.
But at this time, we have not found Travis. My message is still the same. Travis, if you're out there seeing us, we'd like you to turn yourself in. We want a peaceful resolution to this.
Many communities gathered once again in honor of these 3 little girls, lighting candles and sharing silent prayers. A $20,000 reward for any information that leads to Decker's arrest still stands. Sheriff Morrison tells me that he even heard of sightings as far away as Texas, and he says that while their search does continue here on the ground, they are relying on this multi-agency and, of course, out-of-state agencies to help them prove the validity of these sightings. But, of course, they're encouraging everyone to only call 911 if you do encounter Decker on a one-on-one basis. Never if it's a rumor or online chatter. But again, you're encouraged not to approach him. Instead, call 911 immediately. As for what's next in this case, we do know that the autopsy results of these 3 little girls will be released tomorrow, which Sheriff Morrison expects that will paint a clear timeline of what really happened. Of course, we're going to stay on top of that and bring you the latest. For now, we're live in Wenatchee. I'm Alejandro Guzman.
Wow. That story it's wow. I would like to see that report too of the autopsy to see how they died. I have a feeling they were strangled. Oh, yeah, I think it was asphyxiation. Yeah, Josie, he's definitely in the fucking woods. I even put it in the chat. I was like, he's in the woods. I didn't want to say too much or talk over the video, but I was like, he's in the fucking woods. He knows how. If you know how to survive in the woods, you could live your whole life out in the woods. You don't need to be in society at all. If you are a hunter, he has the skills to survive, how to gather water, how to like kill for food, like knows nature, how to survive off of nature. Like, good luck. That's gonna be a very tough one. The only way they're gonna be able to catch this guy is someone run into him accidentally, and they recognize that face, and then they see something or know so, like then they could just rat him out. But you don't want to like get in. You don't even want to see this guy because you're putting your life in danger. Because this guy is a fucking killer. He killed 3 of his kids. That's wild. How what made your mind? Okay, let's put ourselves as astral project to the scene. Okay, we're in the scene, and we have 3 little girls and so forth, and he's choking them out. Now, did he get 2 of them and choke them one in each arm like this, and choke both of them at the same time? That's a possibility, yes. You know, the 5-year-old is like easy, so you need that one for last. You probably choked out because the more energy you have, you could probably, you know, if you're in good shape, you could really choke somebody out easily. These girls did not have a chance at all, and he got them like that with their heads in the front like here, and then he just choked them out, and they die swiftly. You know, it was like they blacked out and they died. So they saw the light like this, like literally. And then the little one the same. He got her and just choked her out and killed her. That's wild. Yeah. That's sad, right, Josie? Fucking while sleeping. Fucking sad, man. And just choked them out. Those kids were probably dreaming and then woke up to a nightmare and then fell into an eternity of dreams. Wow. So sad. Well, we'll see if we get an update on that. Hopefully, we'll be following up on that case. We're not going to drop that one. That's going to be a while. So until they catch him, we'll be talking about it, and I'll bring some videos about it. It's crazy. I think this time frame is a good time frame. I'm trying to find a great time frame to start the shows and so forth. Today, if nothing happens later on, I'm probably going to take the evening off just to relax and watch probably a movie or something. I don't know. But I'm gonna lay low tonight, and tomorrow I'll probably come back depending on what time. I got therapy in the morning, so I gotta go through that. That's like my hell. And then I get out of there, I'm exhausted and I'm tired and I'm just not feeling too good because my neck has been really bothering, my spine's been bothering me a lot. So this weather is not very helpful. Even though today was in the 90s and the temperatures were really nice today, my body still feels weird because of the humidity and the pressure and stuff like that. So it's very scientific, but it's aches and pains that I got to deal with. And it sucks. That's why you see me laying like this. It's because my head is too fucking heavy. So I'm using my shoulder to like hold it in place because it sucks. So when you have a neck injury, it's not a good injury. But everyone have a good day, good morning, and good night wherever you're at. Funny movie. I like funny movies. I like good movies. I'll probably watch like One Crazy Summer or something. And they have it. I think they have it on YouTube. One Crazy Summer. I'll probably watch that because it's already almost summertime, and this type of movies that I watch in the season. Pain sucks. Like for the springtime, I like watching Dirty Dancing because it brings me to spring, and I think of Dirty Dancing, I think of the spring. So I watch Dirty Dancing during the spring, and then in the summertime, once we get into summertime, then I watch One Crazy Summer because like graduation time is happening now. People like the high school is graduating, and next week is like the last week. For some people, like from some schools through June, there's a lot of graduations and stuff. So I always thought One Crazy Summer is a great movie for this time of the year. So that's what I'm gonna watch. But it was a good show. It was a long show. How long did I do? Oh shit, another 2-hour show. Maggie's gonna hate me. She gotta catch up. I spoke to Maggie. She's like, yeah, and she's been watching, so she's watching the shows. And we love Maggie. We miss Maggie, right? Everybody miss Maggie. And we'll try to get her back on here and down the line and get her back on. And this show makes people feel good anyways. So, but I've been bringing more of the media because I feel like something big is happening, and I want to show people what I see and what where my vision is going to and what I'm feeling. And it's through the government, and I'm feeling out the energy of what's happening in the world. And Elon is showing his true colors. It's like it didn't take long for the light to go and shine right at Elon, and he's an imposter. He was part of the Doge. He did this stuff, but I always felt like he was a very powerful Democrat, and he came in maybe as a spy. Maybe he could, because he's a billionaire, a multi-billionaire. You know, maybe he could have bought his way in and chummy to Trump, and got to this point where, you know, he's not in the government anymore. He's been told he needs to go to the side because he only could be in the government within the government for a certain amount of time. And he was just like a special ambassador to like within the government, but he's not an elected official. He's not like he can't, you know, because it's too conflicting. Because remember, he's running a space agency, and he has Tesla, but he's running space contracts that he's putting satellites into space, which is called space, the Space Link. They're bullshit that they have. There's a lot of conflict of interest with him. So, but some of the things really pissed him off, and I think was one of his friends that was supposed to take over the NASA role played a big factor too. And I think he was hurt by that because he wanted to have a easier time with NASA, with a buddy of his could have been the president and running NASA, and it would have made it easier for Elon for his space shit to come over to Kennedy Space Center and run out of there, and would have made it easier for Elon. Now, Trump realized that and realized the conflict, because there's a conflict of interest. Because remember, he has government contracts. Now he's messing with another government contract, which is with NASA, and then there's conflict. You know what I mean? So that's a big problem, and that's why Elon got mad. It's because his friend didn't become like the head of NASA, and they took away the incentives for the green energy for those electric vehicles, and no more of those deals going to electric vehicles. So I think that really hurts him too. So But I think his friend not being put into NASA, I think that's the main reason. That was the main reason. I guarantee you my life, I put it on the line right now. I put it right now. It's because of his friend not becoming the head of, I think, director or whatever of NASA. Look it up. Look it up on YouTube. Do your research. Check it out for yourself. Everyone have a good day, and I'll catch y'all on the flip side. I'll be back tomorrow. Don't worry. I'm not going anywhere. And if something breaks, like breaking news or whatever, that's of importance, then I'll tap back. But other than that, I'm done. Have a good evening. Peace. Yeah, we're done with her too.